If you've got a Christmas party to go to this year, you better watch this tutorial. The last thing you want is to go to an in-person Christmas party and have your makeup looking bad. This look is honestly pretty easy to create. I walk you through each and every step of the way, and I also give you a nude lip option in case you're not a fan of a red lip. If you want a gorgeous makeup look that's gonna last you all day and all night for all of your holiday events this year, keep on watching. When I create a holiday look, I want my skin to look flawless, but not heavy, not cakey. So I want to reach for a foundation that's going to give me that effect. And for me, it's simply the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation every single time. This foundation is clearly well loved. I actually mix 2 shades to get my perfect shade, but this foundation sits on the skin so beautifully. It blends into the skin easily. It does not cling to dry patches. You can build it up for a little bit more coverage, but I would say this is a good medium coverage foundation. It's buildable. What I love about this foundation is it gives me a flawless finish while still keeping my skin looking like skin. And the cherry on top is it lasts all day, all night long. And by the way, I prepped my skin with a little bit of the Rhode Glazing Milk. I blended my foundation out with my favorite base brush ever, the Hourglass foundation brush, and the 2 shades of foundation I used are the shades Oslo and Siberia. Now we need to add a little bit of dimension back into our face, but for a Christmas look, I really don't want to be too bronzy and sun-kissed, you know, but I also don't want to be too gray and dead looking, so I've got the perfect product. This is the Say Sun Melt Cream Bronzer. And this is a clean formula, but it also performs really well. It blends right into the skin, but as you can see, the color is really nice and natural, especially if you have fair skin like me. It's not too cool, but it's also not too warm either. This cream bronzer does give a more natural effect, but you can build it up if you want a bit more pigment. I really like to use my Rephr duo-ended brush for this. I like the dense side to pack on the color, and then I flip it around and use the duo fiber side to give me that very airbrushed finish. The areas I focus this product are on my cheekbones, forehead, and a little bit on my jaw and nose. So that definitely added definition to our face, made our face look slimmer, but now it's time for blush because we need a little bit of color. If you're looking for the perfect Christmas blush, I think I found it. This is the Vive Sunset Blush Balm in the shade Straub. This is a really pretty red blush, and hang with me, I know red blush is intimidating, but you will see how perfectly this blush goes with this look. I'm just gonna squeeze a tiny amount of this on my finger, just a touch. The key when using red blush is not to apply too much, so I'm just applying a little tiny amount to my cheeks. And then taking a blush brush, I'm just slowly tapping this into the skin. I want this to look really natural. I almost want it to look like have a pinched cheek effect, a very subtle wash of color, but it does look like it's coming from within. You'll see later how well this blush ties in with the rest of the makeup, but if you have been hesitant to try red blush, I highly recommend you give it a try this Christmas season. I'm gonna link the exact one I used down below, as well as everything I use in this video. We're gonna add a little bit of concealer now, and I'm going in with my favorite concealer. This is the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Concealer. I have been loving this one. I'm not going in too heavy with this concealer. I'm mainly focusing this underneath my eyes and then in the centers of my face, as well as any little blemishes that I feel need some coverage. But again, I want to be really careful not to go overboard with the concealer, because for this look, we want our skin to look very natural, very radiant, very light, because in person, this looks so good. The last thing you want is to look too heavy and cakey in person. So this concealer is really good for looking very skin-like, and it also lasts a really long time without creasing. Okay, so I'm not gonna go in with powder quite yet, but I do want this makeup to last a really long time. So I'm gonna show you my long wear makeup hack. I literally just filmed an entire video of incredible makeup hacks right before this one, so I'm gonna link it on the screen for you if you wanna check it out. But firstly, to set my makeup, I call this technique setting spray sandwiching. So first I go in with my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray, and I do a nice even layer of that. This is gonna melt our makeup together, but it's also gonna extend the longevity. And now, to really lock things in, I'm going in with the One Size On Till Dawn Setting Spray. This is more a heavy-duty setting spray. It is mattifying and waterproof. So this, mixed with the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray, I promise you, your makeup is gonna last all night long, no problem. So we're gonna let our face marinate for a little while. While that's happening, we're gonna move on to eyes. If this isn't the prettiest holiday eyeshadow palette, I don't know what is. This is the Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes Moonlight Palette. The shades in here are breathtaking, but essentially what you're gonna need is an eyeshadow palette that has some neutral brown, something you can use in your crease, a black eyeshadow, and then some pretty shimmer shadows. Those are mainly what we're going to be working with today. For my transition shade, I'm going to go in with this matte, light, kind of cool tone brown here. This is going to make for such a pretty transition shade. And I'm taking a Refer 01 brush, which is my secret weapon for any makeup look. I love this brush so much. I'm going to link it down below. I promise you, this brush will change the way you do your eye makeup. It makes my life so much easier. But anyways, I'm just using windshield wiper motions in my crease, and I'm building up that color to a point where I'm happy with the pigmentation. I'm not extending this too far out. I'm kind of just following my natural eye shape. And then I'm just taking that exact same brush, picking up that same shadow and running it along my lower lash line. That's what I mean. This brush is just so versatile. It works in the crease, but also works for like detailing, like the lower lash line. If you have a hard time getting like a nice smoky lower lash line, this brush is perfect for that. So now I want to add a little bit more structure. I'm going to go in with this medium brown in the corner here, and I'm picking that up on a MAC 221, and I'm just going to begin to define my outer V. So now it's time to add a little bit of sparkle. I'm just going to take this Milk Hydro Grip Eye Primer because I want the glitter to stay on my lids and not fall down onto my face. I'm just going to apply a little bit of this to my lid. This is just going to give the glitter something to stick to. I think gold is such a pretty shade to wear for a Christmas party, so I'm going to pick up this shimmery gold shade right here. And using my finger, I'm just going to tap that onto my eyelid, mainly focusing this in the center of the lid. I'm not gonna lie, you guys, this might be one of the prettiest gold eyeshadows that I've ever seen. I don't know if it's gonna do justice to it on camera, but it's the perfect shade of gold. You know how gold eyeshadow can look a little bit too gold and it almost looks tacky and cheap? This eyeshadow is perfect. It's so lightweight and it reflects beautifully on the eyes. It feels very expensive and it looks very expensive. It's so classy, it's beautiful. But I want to add just a little bit of iciness and a little bit more dimension. So I'm going to go in with this really fun white shimmery shade here, and I'm going to begin to tap that in my inner corner and kind of just like melt those two shades together. I don't want too much of this white shadow, but just enough that it's going to catch the light. I'm not sure how much of that you're going to be able to see on camera, but that little detail makes the eyes look very holiday. It kind of gives like a twinkling snow effect. It's got a little bit of a blue shift, so it also gives it that like, I don't know, that I'm cold kind of look. I'm going to pick up a detailed smudger brush now, and I'm going to complete the lower lash line. I'm going to apply that gold shade primarily on the center of the lower lash line, and of course, same thing on top as on the bottom. I'm going in with this snowy white shade in the inner corner. And I'm keeping this pretty subtle. I am hugging these shadows close to the lash line. So now it's time for the fun part, winged eyeliner. Okay, let's be real, some people really struggle with winged eyeliner, but I'm gonna make it really easy for you in this tutorial. I'm going in with the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in the shade Whatever Black, and I'm gonna use this pencil to map out my eyeliner shape. The key here is to have a very sharp pencil and to hug it very close to your lashes. Do not over apply, less is more here. And don't panic, it can be a little bit messy, that's totally fine. But the reason you don't want to over apply is because we can blend out the edges and fix any mistakes with a brush later on, but if you over apply, it's really hard to remove that liner once it's already on there. I'm going for a baby wing effect, so I'm not dragging my liner out too far, and I'm only going about halfway across my lid, if that. Once you have the basic shape you want, you're going to want to take a small angled brush, and we're just using that to soften out those edges really quickly. This is the step where you can really perfect your shape and manipulate that liner that you've already laid down. And then once you've perfected your shape, we're gonna set it with black eyeshadow. I'm gonna use this one in the Makeup by Mario palette. Make sure you tap off your excess. And then you're just gonna wanna stamp that over top of that winged liner shape that you've created. This is going to set that kohl liner in place, and it's gonna last all night long. It's also going to intensify that rich black color. Winged liner is complete. Honestly, you could do this with liquid liner, but in my opinion, I don't love liquid liner. I think it's kind of overrated. I don't know, is that an unpopular opinion? I think this kind of liner looks softer and just prettier. There are some small details that I think are really important not to miss to complete the eyes. One of them is tight lining. I'm using the Dior Show Stilo Waterproof Creamy Eyeliner Pen. This is the matte black one and it does not budge. It stays in place forever. And I'm just gonna run that right into my lash line, making sure it's really dark and really black. I don't want any gaps between my liner and my lashes. And by the way, I'm only taking this about halfway across my tight line. And then I have one more little detail that I feel like cannot be skipped. This makes your eyes look a lot more open and awake, and it looks really, really good in person. I'm taking the Swede Satin Kohl eyeliner in the shade Bright, and I'm just running that in the center of my waterline. This little trick draws attention to the eyes. It makes your eyes look whiter. It just gives you that je ne sais quoi to complete the eyes fully. I am going to be wearing falsies with this look, which is optional, but before I do that, I'm going to apply a thin layer of mascara to my lashes. I'm using the L'Oreal Paris Telescopic Mascara, and I'm just applying a very thin, even coat to my top and bottom lashes. This is going to help my natural lashes blend in with the falsies. Kiss came out with these new lashes for the holidays. This is the style Wide Slacks, and these are so pretty. They're very like fluttery and feathery. And I'm actually just going to cut these in half to make them a little half lash. I applied a little bit of glue to the lash, and then I'm just gonna place it right on the outer corner of my eye. And then I'm just gonna pinch the lashes together. Same exact thing on the other eye. Just trying to get those lashes as close as possible to my natural ones. While that glue is drying, I'm gonna do the finishing touches on the rest of my face. I want my makeup to look really flawless, so I'm going in with the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Powder. This one is in the shade Sugar Cookie. Before I go in with that setting powder, I'm just gonna tap out any lines that might have formed underneath my eyes. Then I'm gonna take a little bit of that powder, and I'm going in with the One Size Powder Puff. I love these ones. I will link them below for you. And then I'm just gonna really delicately set underneath my eyes. I'm also gonna set around my smile lines. My makeup tends to wear off the most around my mouth, so I like to set this area really well. And I'm gonna set just a touch between my brows. To set the rest of my face, I'm picking up my Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit Unlocked palette, and I'm gonna take the setting powder shade here, and I'm just gonna set the rest of my face. This is gonna give us such a pretty, glowy, but natural finish to the skin. I'm feeling like adding a little touch more blush. I'm going in with this Givenchy Prism Libre blush in the shade 3. This is like a loose powder blush, so I'm gonna tap a little bit of this into the cap, and then I'm gonna swirl a little bit of that on my brush, and I'm just gonna lightly dust this on top of that cream blush we applied. This color is very similar. So now we're gonna move on to lips. And I know for the holidays, people really love a red lip, and I'm gonna show you a red lip, but first I'm gonna show you this look with a nude lip because I know not everyone loves a red lip. For lip liner, I'm going in with this Makeup Forever Anywhere Caffeine Lip Liner. I'm focusing that lip liner mainly in the centers of my lips, so the Cupid's bow and the lower lip. This is gonna give our lips a more overlined, full effect, but it's gonna look really natural. I want my lips to look more full vertically rather than horizontally, so I'm following my natural shape on the outer corners of my lips. For my nude lip color, I wanna go with a little bit more of a brownie nude. I've been loving this P. Louise You Give Me the Ick palette. I'm just gonna go in with these two kind of brownie top shades, and I'm just gonna mix them together. And then I'm just gonna tap that right in the center of my lip. I love a pale nude lip color. And of course, we have to add gloss. I'm going in with my Charis Cosmetics Water Gloss. I created this one myself, and this looks so good over any lip combo, but it looks so glassy in person. I always get so many compliments on this. I'm applying a pretty generous layer of this to my lips. It also smooths the fine lines in your lip. If you do have lip lines like me, this will give your lips a fuller look. It'll make them look slightly plumped. But it doesn't have a burning sensation. It has more of a cooling, refreshing sensation. And that is this look with a nude lip. I think it looks really pretty. Perfect for a holiday party. If you're not really a red lip girl, it's still festive. You have the sparkles on the eye. It looks really gorgeous. But I do want to show you this look with a red lip as well. Okay, so that nude lip is removed. We're gonna switch it up to a red lip now. This is my Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in the shade Universal Earth. And again, I'm gonna overline my lips with this. Same thing, focusing this more so in the centers of my lips, in the Cupid's bow, center of the lower lip, keeping it more true to my natural shape on the outer corners. All right, so here's the thing. I personally prefer a liquid red lipstick when I'm going to an event. So let's say a holiday party, Christmas party. I don't want to worry about retouching my lipstick. I don't want to worry about it smudging. But if you want to use a bullet lipstick, go for it. I'm using the Makeup Forever Rouge Artist Forever Matte in the shade Constantly on Fire. And I'm just applying a thin layer of this liquid lipstick. This lipstick lasts so long and it feels so weightless on the lips, but it's still so pigmented. I like to tap the edges and blend it in a little bit with that lip liner that I applied first. I like to have a very subtle ombre effect. I still want this lip to be glossy. There's something about a glossy red lip that just looks so good. I'm gonna go in again with my Charis Cosmetics Water Gloss because this gloss looks good on any lip combo. And just by the way, throwing it out there, if you need gift ideas for someone who loves makeup, this is my brand, Charis Cosmetics, but look at the box. I'm so proud of this box. I think it's so pretty. It's so intentionally designed. I kind of feel like it's a work of art, but obviously I'm a little biased. I really feel like this would make a great Christmas gift. I will link my lip gloss down below for you to check out. And I'm just gonna show you it in action on top of this red lip. It is unreal. I love how this lip gloss doesn't disturb the lip combo you have on underneath. And you guys, I don't know if you can see the applicator, but it really isn't that messed up. And I just applied this on top of a full red lipstick. There is nothing worse than applying your favorite gloss on top of a red lipstick and then the doe foot applicator is completely destroyed after. Even if you do get a little bit of product on the applicator, you can just take a makeup wipe and wipe the applicator clean. It's a silicone applicator, so it's very hygienic. This lip combo screams holiday. I love it so much. I kind of feel like this look is missing a little something. I think what would complete the look is a touch of highlighter. I'm going in with the Dior Backstage Glow Face Palette in the shade Universal. And this white shade is so pretty. Again, it gives very wintry, Christmassy holiday vibes. Oof, looks so beautiful. Oh my gosh. It's a very pearlescent finish. It's not like chunky and glittery. All right, that totally completed the look. I need to know, you guys, which lip combo do you prefer? What would you wear to a Christmas party? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm literally so snoopy. I read every single one of your comments and I respond to all of you guys. So let me know. I personally think I would pick the nude lip, but I'm kind of living for the red. There's something about it. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out a lot. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you in the next one.